Hi, how are you?
Hey, hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, great. So let's go live. I think everything is in place.
Yeah, right.
Okay, great. So we have with us today Miss Prachi Jain of Cubix Global, and she has her practice from Pune. And primarily, she's an interior designer. And I'm not too sure whether you are also doing architecture,
No,
but
I'm an interior designer by profession.
okay, so you are only doing interior designing, and she ends up doing large houses as well as small houses. And something that I have with me about her is that she designs the place as per the personality of a person, which probably, yes, all of us end up saying that, a space that, is our own space. So she helps designing
Right.
those lines, right? Is there anything else that you would like to, say something about your, practice, Prachi?
So it's been almost 22 years that I have been practicing, and I think this journey has taught me a lot of things. So I've seen city evolving, and so is the thought process, and the choices have been changed. So a lot to learn, I would say.
Okay. And I understand that, architecture and interior designing is in any which ways an ever evolving
Right,
profession.
right.
I would say it's like fashion design. Why? Because always something or the other is changing in the minds of the customers and new things get developed time and again.
Yeah,
So I'm sure that you have a very wide palette to
yeah.
select and, kind of play upon.
This is a
So
very
let me introduce.
demanding industry, I would say.
Yes, more and more people become aware of things, and it's like, and even Google has made people more, demanding. Why? Because they are also half architects by the time they end up going to an architect, because
Right.
they pick up pictures which they think, okay, this is something I want to achieve, and at the end of the day, they are using an interior designer or an architect just to kind of get them what they've already kind of, I would say, decided in their mind. So yes, that becomes very difficult because that comes as a demand rather than a request of designing a space for them.
Right.
So yeah, being in this trade, I do understand that very well. Although I have not been on the other side, but the vendor side definitely yes. It becomes more demanding for us rather.
Right.
Okay, so let's start with the session, and today's session is all about innovation and technology in fenestration systems. Now that's the subject of my expertise. So my first question to you was is what are the major reasons of advancements in fenestration systems?
Could you repeat?
What are the main reasons for
Mm-hmm.
advancements in fenestration
Okay.
systems?
So when we talk about fenestration, we all know it's all about the openings that we try to provide in the buildings or the bungalows or any of the spaces where we live in. So no space would be complete if it does not has a proper source of ventilation, light, and air ventilation. So here where fenestration really plays a very important role. And when we talk about advancements, of course, where we are staying in the kind of century, everything here and around, we see it's a lot of pollution, a lot of climatical changes. So the better the fenestration, the better your health gets benefited. I look at from this angle.
Okay, so let me just add on a few things here. Obviously, the advance, see, at the end of the day, if we talk about a reference point of fenestrations, now
Yeah,
people have been used to wooden fenestrations which had grills.
yeah,
The glasses were not that environment, I would not say friendliness, but environment awareness of how much it can affect the interiors in different seasons or climatic conditions wasn't there.
right,
Earlier it was which a person wanted, and these things were always accessories to it, but not the core focus. So when the industry involves, probably, then people want to focus on each and every thing that they want to use in their house. I mean, right from a tap to I would say a glass spec, etc., etc. So if I have to kind of make an analogy, I think windows and fenestration systems are also security systems these days. Why? Because they are full height, there are no grills, and
right.
you obviously end up kind of becoming a little insecure when you see all glass, and suddenly in your mind, psychologically, glass doesn't seem to be all
How
that
safe it
strong.
would be. Yeah.
How safe. So I think that's where, we've been pushed left, right, and center in terms of improving the security quality of our product.
Right.
So if I have to add on, people are more well traveled. They go to European countries, American countries, and they want something which is similar what has been used over there. So
Right.
westernization is the thing which makes people, ask for demand for a better product or advancement in product. So these days, I'm sure home automation is already being done, and many customers are coming back to us and telling us that if we can move a curtain with a remote or an iPhone, why can't we move your windows? Why? Because in any which way, I have to get off my bed to open up your window. So
Hmm.
that's another thing that people have started speaking about. So I
And
think these two things. Yeah, sorry.
according to me, I think Windows were the least focused areas that I've seen the past years. So yeah, that was the last thing someone would consider. Just make a regular sliding window and you're done. But nowadays we've got such an amazing option range that a person can actually decide what and how he wants to see his space or how he wants to explore the outside world. Earlier, it was just maybe two-floor, three-story buildings, but now we've got high rises. So in high rises,
Correct.
you've got amazing view, amazing height. So the fenestration systems are playing amazing role in that, I would say. Yeah.
Correct, correct. So I mean, and now with architects wanting more color options, so earlier we were doing wood finish
Yeah.
because people wanted a repeat wood. Then it went to powder coating. Now today it is. Then we started anodizing. Now today it is brush finish anodizing, which is a special finish that people are asking for. So I think
Right.
that when people become more and more aware of about a product, more and more they relate to their houses because in India, marriage and houses are one thing people spend their entire savings upon. So when you're spending that kind of money and you have the pocket for it, then you obviously want to try and buy the best for every, I would say, product that you are using in the house. So that automatically it's a good thing. Why? Because it pushes the industry to kind of design and develop better products. And I'm sure that going forward it will be more about sustainability in terms
Yeah.
of the thermal, how the product handles the thermal nature of the climatic conditions. So I think
Right.
that it is, and it's recently started in India that people have now have started trusting aluminum as a product because I remember when in 2006-7 we started. So I was more like I would say a doormat. Why? Because I used to go, wait, come back. Why? Because they never got that trust in aluminum as a material, strong, safe, or color options. They all people were so bent towards wood. But now with the market opening up, now they're very much open to try different materials. And I think yes, these things do help going forward to grow the industry. And I think that also
Right.
becomes in the hands of the architects. Okay, so let's go to our next question. So how important are innovation and technology to you for your designing your projects?
Okay, when we say technology and innovations, no field is left behind when it comes towards technologies, and things around are evolving at a very high speed. So again,
Right.
when it comes to interior designer, I think ours is the industry where every single thing is getting updated, more modernized, more futuristic, more in terms of quality. It's getting better day and day. So this is one of the most important aspect along with the aesthetics. So yeah, that's my go on this.
Okay. So anything you would like to comment on probably, the something that you would want in the fenestration systems to evolve? I mean, obviously there's been a lot of improvement, but what do you think would kind of, something that's in your mind would really make your intent fulfilled in the right way in terms of upgradation in technology in the product?
Okay. So you rightly asked me a very perfect question, I would say. Being into Indian market and the community where we have been working and staying around, though there are a lot of options in fenestration, but I still find a gap between the product and the right user. they are still not aware what all options are still available in the market. At times, we are really uh, thinking about would it be possible or would I be able to get some fine product, but this is already available in the markets. Like you said, we are traveling to Europe, we are traveling to Japan, we are traveling globally. So yeah, it has all come down to India, but at times the price also plays a major issue, and people um think twice getting the same product done at their own premises. So you also have few constraints which stops you thinking about the same product.
So basically, you're talking about the mindset of the customers here.
Mindset, yeah.
Basically, one is they need options, and the second thing is that
Uh,
even if you get products somewhere else, they're still, not too confident. So probably they need more awareness.
More
How,
awareness about the product.
yeah, how the product will kind of fulfill their intent.
Hmm.
Okay. So also, I would like to say that what do you think the trends that have already developed are here to stay? I mean, something that you feel that okay, this is not going anywhere.
Okay, so earlier we always had a standardized window, 4 feet by 5 feet, 6 feet by 8 feet. You know, those were the standardized norms that we had. We had typical plinth levels and chuja levels. But now it is absolutely gone. You can
Correct.
go double riser, high riser windows where 10 feet, 12 feet, I think even 14 feet has come into the market. So this is how you're getting your vision open, clear with no joineries, no hindrance in between your vision. So this will take some time yet, but people are really going behind a full view, open look. The sleek channels are making it look more pleasant, more beautiful. So that is something I really admire about this latest systems that everyone has to offer. Earlier, whatever systems from wooden windows, from metal windows, we got shifted towards sliding windows. The section channels were really very bulky, which kind of restricted your entire look and feel of the premises. But with the slicker options, I think it solves our purpose and it has got a number of opening options.
Correct.
You have sliding, you have top open, down open. You have tilted openings, you have skylights. So a lot of options have been developed in the same.
So anything new that you would want that the company should work upon?
See, we really specialize more into European and neoclassical concepts. I would still love to see some more trendy stuff coming into the windows. Windows is something that really highlights your space from outside. So I can see there's one limitation where we cannot create any arches in the windows. So with wood, we always had that open option to curve it the way we want it. Any curves, capsule, oval, surroundical, or something round. It is very easy to create, but something when it comes to system windows, aluminum windows, it really becomes a restriction for us. So maybe you guys can work upon that, and that could really give a second horizon to us.
Sure, definitely. I think, frankly, there are many companies who started doing arc windows. We've been doing it for quite some years now.
Right.
So that's one available. Probably there may be a case where, a fabricator or a vendor and then around Pune may not be able to do that. Why? Because it requires a different
Skill
kind of expertise.
altogether, yeah,
And then the confidence that the architect would want to have in a vendor is also important. Why?
important,
Because
right?
time when you've done similar products or projects that the customer or the architect gets that confidence that okay, I can try an arched window in aluminium.
Right.
So yes, so it all depends upon that. But yes, those things are already in. In terms of automation from an interior perspective, that you may feel that okay, this is there, I would be able to enhance the customer's experience.
Right. So, sorry, I'm not able
I
to
guess
hear you.
from an automation
Yeah.
perspective, what is it that you think if it is there, you can enhance the customer's experience by
Yeah.
designing your interface in a better way?
Okay. So, like you said, automation is playing an amazing role nowadays. We want everything on our fingertips. Even our curtains are dinings, our light moods, everything is getting our locks, everything, whatever you name, it's all on automation. So if your windows also come on your tip to be operated as per your likings, that would be an amazing go for window industry, I would say.
Yes, I agree, but yes, obviously that's going to cost a little higher for the customers, and I think we are today
See
already
that
struggling with the present
see
price
the
point higher.
topic that we are already talking about has one range. So this is
Mm.
not for the average clientele that we are talking. See, average clientele will definitely will not want to disturb the exteriors. They would really want to go within the space. This is actually mandatory for the people who do not mind going overboard and accepting some new products offered by the market. So
Correct.
that can be a niche clientele which we can focus on.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah.
So, okay, how do you think we can increase the awareness at the customer's end regarding, any improvements that there is in the industry?
So when we say about the awareness, automation took time. Maybe
Yes.
3 years, 5 years back the line, automation was something Indian market would not accept. It
Mm.
was hardly into 5-10% of the homes where automation, and it was considered as a luxury for the people.
Correct.
These people are rich, they can afford automation. The
Correct.
automation industry got down from wired automation to retrofit to something like module fit, multiple options where it went to each and every home. And now, if
Mm.
I see around 50 to 60% places that we are designing are already asking for automation, rest are already started thinking about the same. Same way, people are not much aware about how much important role fenestration plays in their premises. Maybe it's about the lack of awareness. Windows are just not for keeping rains out or your sunlight out. It is something that can drop down your temperature. It is something that can save you. It can save you from voice cancellation, sound cancellation. Also, it adds up a lot of aesthetics to the entire look and feel of your premises. So there are multiple things one can consider. At the same time, it is giving a high security to your own space. So this is something one should not avoid, and equal treatment, equal consideration should be given to this focal area also.
Okay, great. So let me ask you a little intrusive question regarding your practice. How many times do interior designers actually get to select windows? Whether it's, and what do you think? Is it the architectural, it should be the architectural take or the interior designer's take to decide on the window?
So any project that comes under renovation, it of course comes under interior designer. Being an newly plot society, there we have restrictions. We cannot disturb the exteriors of your apartments. So we are not allowed to touch those spaces, and we don't mind because the builders are already giving something good. So we don't mind it. But rest, if we are constructing any single units like bungalows, farmhouses, penthouses, so those are the areas where we actually get to select the stuff, and clients are now open. They want everything, each and every piece to be selected by a designer. But this has
No,
changed over the years. Now, in past 3-4 years, we can see like clients really want us to go and select. They ask, ma'am, you can select. We don't even want you to go with white. You can also opt for wooden finishes or oxidized finishes, or maybe some beautiful gold platings. So yeah, it has changed now.
so yeah, but then is there an always ongoing struggle between the architect and the interior designer of who can select what?
I will not say that it's really something like you have to work hand in hand.
Hmm.
So so architect will definitely have a good eye when it comes to an exterior view, but
Application.
designer would be thinking 360 degree. How is my exterior going to look like? How is my interior going to look like? So I think a designer would be a perfect go for the selection space.
Why did I ask this question was that I would say the only time when I got really stuck between an interior designer and architect who were doing the same houses, they pushed me to do a different color on the outside, and the interior designer wanted a different color on the
Oh,
inside. Now,
okay.
tassel in a thermal break window, which is obviously a very expensive product.
Right.
But so we just got kind of engaged in that tussle, and I said, okay, we need to select one color.
Right.
So what is that normally there is always, struggle between both to kind of meet the intent of the customer as well as trying to get what you think would be good for the customer. That's why I asked that question.
See, according to me, it's only I just want the very dominant thing because I like this color. I have to have this one on board. It has to be in favor of the space that we are designing. It just can't be a ego war between a designer and an architect. This is the place where the client is actually suffering, and I would never want my client to suffer in such conditions. So maybe at that point, we'll have to, if architect is very much prominent about this is how my exterior, and I try to see the interiors has to jello down with the space that's going outside and inside. So somewhere it has to come on the common grounds.
Very well answered, Prachi. I thought that you'll get tricked by my tricky question, but you ended up really answering it in the favor of the customer, which is a good thing. I guess that's all that we have in this session. Any last words that you would like to speak about, the present day's topic? I said that any last words you'd like to say on the present day, today's topic.
The only thing that I relate like this is the neglected area, the fenestrations that I'm talking about. When we talk about fenestration, we always focus on doors and windows. But there is something beyond doors and windows. When we talk about skylights or different kind of openings, or so there are multiple possibilities one can work on and can be aware with the same. So I think industry has to connect a bit more in the same. It becomes really easy connecting because designers and architects have been working on the same years in and out. But for a common man to come and understand this product becomes a bit of a gap, I would say. So more of awareness in the same product can be used in multiple ways, should be introduced, and it can be a good go to consider.
Okay, great. That suggestion is well taken. Thank you very much for being with us today. It was a pleasure to have you with us. And from the bottom of our heart, we invite you to come to Chandigarh so that we can take you around to the Kabusia buildings and have a
Definitely,
taste of
definitely.
the. And we'll definitely try and connect with you when we are traveling to Pune.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. I'll definitely love to do that. So
Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us today.
thank you. See you,
Bye bye.
everyone.
Bye.